Good morning and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church and our divine service. Our medium this morning is Ashley Mills. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning, Ray, and it's a pleasure to serve Wimbledon and connect with everyone online.
Ashley, for her sins, is president of the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, Walton-on-Thames. Yep. And we say it as sins because those of us who run churches, we're hopefully getting our karmatic debt paid off somehow or another, but hey-ho, who knows. So friends, I hope you have a great time with us this morning, and those of you who are new to our Sunday mornings, it's a service that lasts just over an hour or about an hour, and we have a reading in a moment from Mr. James Blythe, and we also have clairvoyance, and I'll be doing a healing moment. So enjoy the service today and enjoy being at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. You can see we've got a new camera. It's not me, just got a bit plumper. So I'm showing a bit more of the church and the wall and stuff like that. And one of our church members made the cross, not the cross, the wreath. And there's a tree of life in the centre. So friends, we now start our service by asking Ashley to open our meeting with prayer.
Good morning. If you'd like to close your eyes, bow your heads, whatever is most comfortable for you, wherever you are joining us. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for allowing us to join together in your name. Help us to leave our daily cares and worries aside for this time, that we may open our hearts, our minds, and our souls to your loving guidance, your healing, and your mercy. We ask a blessing on all the families, friends, colleagues, neighbours, animal companions, and communities represented here today. May all those in need receive according to thy will. Whatever is said and done during this time, may that energy be felt by all those who need it. Amen.
Amen. Let's say now together the Serenity Prayer, which Richard will put up on screen. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you all, friends. And I'm going to ask George to go around with the offertory here at Wimbledon Church, and anyone online who wishes to donate to the church, you please can do so by our PayPal account, which I'll read out for you. It's www.paypal.com, PayPal me/LAD Promotions. LAD Promotions is a promotional arm of the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. It's been part of the church for about 25, 27 years, something like that. And we're using that to go into anything that's given is greatly received, and it goes to the work of the church. And we've got a lot of electricians coming soon to do some electrical work to update. And it's more costly running the church than it is our own home sometimes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And as Ashley knows, we're running her church. It's good fun, but it's sometimes stressful. We had to have a new roof in 2019, and that was a challenging time for the church, but it worked and it went well. And we can hear the pitter-patter of the roof now, of the rain when it's on the roof. So thank you very much. I'll say hello to a few names on screen. Izzy Ryan, good morning and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. Hope you have a great day with us. Millie B, hello, how are you? And welcome to our church. Sally Worker, hello Sally, how are you? Claire Callback, good morning. Enjoyable time with us. Laurie Garner, good morning and welcome. Kim, hello, how are you down there in the wilds of Kent? Diane Burston, good morning and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. Christine Davis, on behalf of Ashley and myself, bid you a good morning. Dawn Collinson Quarry, good morning Dawn. Dawn runs a development class here on a Tuesday at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, which is becoming quite a busy evening for us. So thank you for all the work you do for the church. Pat Bear, good morning Pat. Enjoy your day. Rosalind, how are you? Ivy May Caswell, how are you, Ivy May? Hope you're well. Julian Cross, good morning and welcome. Stace Shaw, I hope you're feeling better, Stace. Good morning and have an enjoyable time with us. Kelly Rocket, hello from Australia. I hope you're having a great time out there. Jessica Nicole, good morning and welcome to Wimbledon. Hello Wendy Payne, how are you? I hope you and the family are all well. Claudette, good morning and welcome. Dawn Johnson, hi, how are you? Hope you enjoy the service today. Joy Howell, good morning and welcome. I think we'll call it almost quits there and get Jim to come up and do the reading. So Mr. Jim Blythe will give us the reading for the morning, which afterwards Ashley will follow with the address. And then I'll go into the healing moments.
The readings from the Gems of Thought by Zodiac. The wages of sin. The wages of sin is death. I have told you before that indeed that which you call sin, we name weakness. It has the power to kill godlike qualities with which, sorry, I've got the wrong glasses on, I can't help it, I broke the other ones. Qualities with which man is endowed. I have explained that there are countless thousands, even as the dead. They know not what they are or where they are. They like unconsciousness not come as time goes on. But when there is someone strong enough to love, patient enough in service, to weaken them, these, the children of the Most High, who have bartered their divine heritage for a mess of pottage, must take up those same lessons from which they have turned upon the earth plane, or in a garment less developed than the physical. The wages of sin is death, the death of beauty and power, the death of all that which links man to God. Yet forget not, these are the children of God, and the Father's will that they should be drawn back into their divine inheritance and be as the angels of heaven. The wages of sin is death. The wages of effort is life. I come not into your presence and say, take the steep path and all will be well, and the world's sense of well, but I do say, take the steep path and whatever may betide, however many the enemies within and without, or not you can go on, and particular shall be complete. Step by step, life is something of its real sense, shall be made your own life, and liberty and peace and holiness, for this is the law of God. The message of the Christ is one of warning as well as one of glorious hope. For what a man sows, he must reap. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Now ask Ashley to do the address, and afterwards I will give the healing moments out. Thank you.
I'm always inspired by the words that are written round the service room at Wimbledon Church. Very inspiring words here. But what Spirit want to talk about is about trust. And it's very important that we realise that there are lots of different levels of trust. There's trust in ourselves, there's trust in other people, there's trust in circumstances, there's trust in Spirit and the progression of life. Going back to the first one, very, very important if we have an instinct that we trust in that. It's never there without a good reason. We can talk about our gut instinct, our maternal or parental instinct. And I've heard so many stories, and a lot of you have probably heard stories, that when you listen to that instinct and act upon it, it serves us well. And many years ago, I got an analogy from Spirit that says your intuition or your instinct is rather like a spiritual muscle. If you work it, it can get stronger. If you don't work it, it will stay ineffective. So that trust in ourselves, in our own inner wisdom and instinct is paramount in life. Trusting in others, we can try and trust other people. We can put our faith in other people, but it's very important who we give our trust to. Who can we naturally feel akin and close to give that trust to? And very often trust has to be earned. By building a relationship, by building a connection with people, we get a sense of who we can confide in or trust, ask for their advice, their opinion. But we should never feel duty bound. We should never feel obliged to trust anyone if we do not get that instinct that we can. Trusting in circumstances. If we put our thoughts and intentions out to the world for a situation to happen, we trust that if it is right for us, it will come to pass. If it is not meant for us, something else will happen. And we, again, need to trust that that is for the right reasons. We might not necessarily understand it at an individual level, but at a soul level, we absolutely understand that because the energies of our thoughts and our words are followed by our actions, so too in the wider world. So situations will follow our thoughts and words. So if you request something, please trust that Spirit will meet that. They might not assist in exactly the way we think they will, and it's very important not to have a preconceived idea or expectation on how Spirit can help us. Leave it up to them to be creative, but trust that if we send a thought out, it will be received and acknowledged, and then they can help us. I hope these words will be of comfort and some help for you today and going forward.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much indeed. Got a list of names I'm just putting into the healing book. Friends, we're now coming to that part of the service and we send out love and healing to all those people whose names are inscribed in our own hearts and mind, and also inscribed in our church healing book and healing books throughout the world. And absent healing or distant healing is very much a great mission of the healing movement, and it's an important aspect of what we do in our church services. So this morning I think of Fred, Tony, Mark and Eileen, Jackie, Babs, Cassandra, Jill, Amber, Stephen and Kelly, Sue Smith, Phil Hall, Lauren, Bill and Mark, Katie and Kieran McCann, Alfie and Tony. And we also, this morning, we think of Bill Ward, who's not at all well, and his wife Mary. Mary Ward is a well-known medium around the southern parts of England, but she does travel around. And Bill, her husband, is not at all well at the moment and is so in need of love and light upon his journey, as he survives so much over the last few months, but he's just not his best at the moment and needs lots of healing. So friends, we ask healing of mind, body and spirit to all our loved ones, friends and family, and may that divine healing, according to divine law, be blessed within each and every person we have prayed for this morning, and also for those names that are within the homes and hearths of this Spiritual Psychics TV. We ask healing now and forevermore. Amen. And before Ashley does the next part, we've also got some adverts. I know we've got the Sunday sofa this afternoon at 4 o'clock. And brunch tomorrow, Richard?
This afternoon from 4 p.m, join us for a live and interactive chat show, The Sunday Sofa. Hosts Polly Harnett and Jane Morton answers your questions while offering free readings and advice. Tomorrow morning from 11 a.m, join us for our live and interactive brunch show with Alison Barton and Dawn Collinson. Each week they introduce a different guest while Dawn offers free mediumship readings. Tomorrow night from 8 a.m, join Matt and Kirsty Grogan for their spiritual advice show. Those who ask the best questions will be offered mediumship or oracle card readings.
If you're at home and feeling a little bit alone, you can link into these shows and be a great part of these shows. So it's really vital that you share that knowledge, become a patron and become part of the great work that SPTV does. And Tony, I've put your name in our healing book and I wish you well. The work of SPTV is spreading out around this country. We've been going very hard around on a Sunday. As you see, some people from Australia, we've had people from Canada, Zimbabwe, and as close as Scotland, Wales, and I think on occasion Northern Ireland. So far, SPTV has reached 3.4 million views. Now, isn't that something? Isn't that an effort? A great deal of spreading the truth, as each and every one of us that are on the show will do. It's important that the work and the mission of SPTV, just like a church, and it's a TV spiritual centre, gets out and helps. And there's a list of people that you can see, healers and mediums, and in local areas where things are going on. And in June, we've got a wonderful event going on down at Waterlooville, which is not far from Portsmouth and Havant. And there's a wonderful day going on, a whole day, fun day, and stalls will be there. Wimbledon will have a stall there ourselves, and be a great part of meeting people that perhaps you see on the television or on your computer screens, and you can put a face to the names as well. So thank you for all joining us so far. I now wish to hand the meeting over to Ashley Mills. I'm sorry I'm a bit hesitant with my voice today, but I've a problem with my left eyesight and I'm having a problem seeing things today. So if I'm talking and my left eye closes, I'm not doing Long John Silver through me or any pirate. It's just a problem with the vision that I have at the moment. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduce once again Miss Ashley Mills. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Pleasure to serve everyone again this morning. So first of all, I'm going to say that Spirit give me sensations, they give me words, they give me images. It's not for me to understand the information as long as the recipient of the message can understand. And I will do a mixture of messages for people here at the church and also for online. But the first message, I think, is for a lady here in the church, and I want to come to the lady in the sort of lilac jacket, please, that's looking at me. Yes, hello, good morning. As I link with you, I've got a lady on a sisterly energy. Now that might be sister, sister-in-law, or friend that you considered a sister. I feel quite similar frame to yourself. I don't want to put her bigger or noticeably smaller than yourself. I feel a very gentle lady, a very loving lady, very considerate person, someone that would always try and help other people if she knew that they just needed a chat or some support. The sort of lady that if someone was poorly, she'd make something and bring it round so that they wouldn't have to go to exerted efforts to keep themselves going. That's how I feel with her personality, if you can accept that, please. Yes. Lovely. Now, what she's saying for you is please be aware of your own energy levels. There are times where you feel that you can fire on all cylinders and get on with whatever you need to do, but there's also times where you know you've got a lot on and you need to conserve your energy so that you don't waste it and then become tired unnecessarily. Okay. She's saying you're pretty good at planning your schedule, but with the best will in the world, we know that life throws things at us that we don't expect. So it's worth sort of having something in reserve. So when you don't need to expend a lot of energy on a task, conserve that energy for the times where you do need to bring some more energy out. She's just giving you that as an awareness of situations in your current situation. Okay. She's making me aware that she loved the colour blue, because I feel like I want to have a blue scarf round her neck as she comes close to you. Okay. But she is coming forward with a blue scarf. Would you understand someone close to you needing some healing right now? Someone either with a throat condition or something to do with not being able to communicate as easily with someone on an emotional level? Because that's why that she's showing me a scarf. It's round the throat centre. I'll ask you to think about that. It could be that she's having difficulties communicating with someone because of distance or sort of technology breaking down. It could mean all different things, but that's where she's bringing that blue in. Okay, beautiful. She's also making me aware of typing a lot. I don't know whether this was because of her work or just because she was a very organised person. I feel quite methodical with her, as if I was very capable at planning things and researching things. She wouldn't make rash decisions. She would be someone that would consider things and plan things. And she's saying to you, if you've got a decision you want to make, try and get as much information around it as you possibly can. Even if you don't feel you need to use that information, it will help you make the decision either way. She's also putting a pearl in my hand. Now, I don't know whether that is significant because of any jewellery she had or the time of year where pearl was a birthstone. It might also be symbolic of a pearl of wisdom for you. So I'm just offering it in many forms for you to take it as fits for you. But it's quite a large pearl. Certainly don't feel it's going to just fall out of my hand. It's sizable that I can feel it with my fist clenched. But she says you are also very giving of information that you think could benefit other people. You like to pass on knowledge and wisdom to others. You're not someone that sort of hoards it. Well, I want to be the only one to know this. It's all about sharing, all about being a link in the chain for other people. You might have a conversation with someone and think, oh, I know someone was only talking about that yesterday. I need to remember to have that chat with them because they could do with that. That would be helpful to them. And that's how very often Spirit can work with us. It doesn't always have to be in a formal way, but Spirit uses us as a messenger in that form. Okay. And please don't underestimate, I'm being told, that can be a form of healing, because that one little pearl could make all the difference to that person. So please take her love, please take her thoughts for you around this time, and I will say thank you for working with me. Richard, may I just ask you to scroll the names, because I feel I'm going to give the next message to somebody that's watching online, please. Okay, Trish, I feel guided to speak to you, please. Trish Woods. Good morning, Trish. Thank you for joining us at this time for this beautiful divine service. As I'm linking with you, I'm being asked to talk about a father figure. Now, again, father figure could be dad, it could be father-in-law, it could be stepfather, or it could be a father figure in your life that's in spirit. But as I link with this gentleman, I feel taller than myself, so I want to say about 5'10" with this gentleman. Quite slim built. I don't feel overly muscular or a lot of padding in his torso, but I feel quite a straightforward gentleman with his character. What you saw was what you got with this gentleman. And I know there's a little time delay, so I'm going to carry on with the information and then you can let me know whether you understand it. With him, I feel as if I had dark hair as a younger man, although there is a sort of peppering of grey in the hair in later years. Bless you. Thank you, Trish, for acknowledging your dad. I feel a gentle soul with him. I really want to say he was a gentleman, but he didn't suffer fools. He wouldn't tolerate anyone being rude or disrespectful, and definitely not to the women around him. Very strong values about how he thought women should be treated and respected. And thank you for that confirmation. But it was a real sense of feeling protected by this gentleman, that he did stick up for the ladies in his life. It wasn't that he was intentionally trying to encourage people to be overly nice, but he was saying that credit where credit's due. Okay, and this is very important for you at this current time. He doesn't want you to be unappreciated or unacknowledged, whether that is in a personal circumstance, whether that is in a work or studying circumstance. He wants you to get the acknowledgement that you deserve, Trish. Don't let yourself get pushed to one side or looked over for any work that you have done. Okay. He's also mentioning the little ones. Now, I don't know whether that is your children or grandchildren, but he's particularly taking me to one that has an awful lot of energy, and he's saying it's very good when they can channel that energy into something physical. Doing things helps them focus that energy so that it's not left unused. And you would understand that in your life. It's the times where they can't get out and do things and move that they feel very restless and fidgety. But it's one particular child that has this example of energy there. Okay, thank you for that confirmation. But I also want to say from him, it's about variety of activity, not just one thing. They've got interest in lots of different places. Okay. I also want to say there's a level of creativity there, and that is to be encouraged in order to express it, because they might not necessarily have the vocabulary to express feelings or their energy, but doing things in a creative way means that they can get that energy out, but also feel that they've acknowledged that need to express themselves without feeling suppressed or hindered in some way. Thank you very much for the confirmation. I'm glad you can understand it, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. Okay, I feel I'm back in the church here with my next message. And I'd like to come to Mary in the green jacket, please. Good morning. As I'm being asked to link with you, I feel I've got grandfather coming through. And I feel a very strong man in my demeanour as well as my physicality with him. Very solid gentleman, very stable presence in people's lives. Even if he wasn't in your life for a long time, it feels like he's a foundation stone there. What he's talking about is it doesn't matter whether you have to make changes or alterations in your life, as long as you've got the foundations there to build on. And that's why he was bringing that information before. He says, because life is about change and readjustment, fine-tuning things, because what might suit us in an earlier part of our life doesn't always suit us going forward. So he's talking about never be afraid to make the changes that you feel are necessary, but please also thank you, Trish, for that acknowledgement. Don't feel you have to ask anyone's permission to make changes. It's because some people do always seek to please other people, but when it is your life, you're the one that has to be happy with the changes and decisions you make first and foremost. If it benefits other people as a knock-on effect, wonderful. But it's so important that it suits you first. Okay? And he's saying that green is really interesting because that is about balance and harmony. Okay? And the deeper green, really anchoring that balance and harmony now to be able to help you going forward. It's not just about a minor adjustment, it's about really sinking the root of that balance, that sense of calm and peace to help you feel anchored and secure going forward. Okay. I suddenly got a beautiful butterfly come in for you. Okay. And I don't know whether you've heard of them, but I'm being given the word morpho butterfly. Okay. To my knowledge, they are a very vibrant blue butterfly and quite a large butterfly. Okay. Because they're saying it's time to spread your wings further. And don't be afraid to make the changes necessary to do that. And I will say bless you and thank you for working with me. If I can come back online, please, Richard, if I could ask for those names to be scrolled again, that would be appreciated. Okay, Diane Burston, I think I'm coming to you, my lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, good morning. And Diane's extending blessings to everyone from watching online. As I'm being asked to link with you, Diane, I feel I have a lady on an aunt vibration for you, please. So again, it could be blood aunt, aunt by marriage, or friend of parents that you called aunt growing up. I feel a blonde lady in her younger years, hair not much lower than shoulder level. But I do feel quite a vibrant energy with her, very bubbly lady, very happy lady, someone that would always try and see the best in people and encourage people to be happy and positive. And she's saying, for you, please, it's about seeing the best in a situation. And what she means by that is something recently hasn't turned out the way you expected to, but she wants you to see the silver lining in that because something else is to come that will be better. I feel quite gentle features with this lady. I don't feel large framed. I feel as if I've got quite a slim face, quite gentle features, but I want to say I have a very big smile with this lady and very bright, twinkly eyes with this lady. I don't feel that this lady went out to work when you remember her. I feel that she would have been a housewife in the earlier part of your life and would have focused on her family and taking care of the home. But she always encouraged other people to do what was right for them. She didn't want people to settle in life. So if she knew, okay, thank you for that acknowledgement. She wanted people to have hopes and aspirations. And this is what she's also saying for you, please, Diane. She wants you to make decisions that you deserve more in your life than you're currently having. So really, she's asking you to pay attention to your thoughts and nip any negative thoughts or beliefs in the bud and replace them with thoughts of what you do deserve and what you do want rather than what you don't. And she's saying that even little moments add up. Every day, even 2 or 3 minutes of focusing on what you do want. And when you feel any negativity creeping in, nipping those thoughts in the bud and changing them again to positive thoughts. And it will accrue, it will build up, and you will see things shift, she's telling me. She's saying, please do not take on burdens for other people's situations either. She knows that you're a loving soul, but she wants you to be very clear on what is your responsibility and what are other people's responsibilities for their own lives. We can listen to people and talk, but she's saying for you at this current moment, it's not a good idea to try and overburden yourself helping other people, because you need to focus on yourself, and that is not being selfish. She's mentioning the colour orange for you, please, because I want to put more vibrancy, more vitality and more joy in your life. So whether that is just visualising the colour orange or whether you have something orange that you can look at to remind yourself of that energy, or even just doing things that will bring that energy in. So anything creative, anything like listening to music or putting music on at home and moving around. It's not about anyone else acknowledging what you're doing, it's about you acknowledging it for yourself. She's also mentioning the number 3, and I feel that connects to an address. So that could be a past address for somebody or a current address for somebody, but I see it on a door. Okay. Thank you, Sarah, for acknowledging that about your mum. Okay. Lots of love from this lady, and I wish you well for the future. Many thanks for joining us today. Okay, I'm going to come back into the church for my next message. I feel I'm with the lady with the blue cardigan there at the back with the straight hair. Yes, good morning. Don't worry, we don't bite. As I'm being asked to link with you, I've got a gentleman here that's coming forward very upright. He would have been very disciplined in himself. Okay. Quite naturally self-disciplined, I feel, and he tried to encourage other people to have a sense of self-discipline, to get their life in order, he's saying, because he wanted the best for them. And he said, you know, it's that phrase, a messy environment's a messy mind. So he's encouraging you to think of things you can do for yourself to get rid of any confusion, any clutter that affects your thoughts or your actions. Because there are things you want to do and you need to have that clear space to be able to go forward with those things. Okay. He's making me aware of glasses. Now, I don't know whether he just had them for reading or for other purposes, but he's giving them to you as if he wants you to have a fresh perspective on something in your life. Now, it's not for me to know where that is, whether that is your personal life, your working life, or any other aspect, but he wants to give you a fresh perspective or a new perspective on something to help you make a decision, to help you make a choice. Because very often if we get so ingrained, he's saying, in only seeing things one way, we don't give ourselves a chance to see a solution by looking at it from another angle. Okay. And he wants that for you. He wants you to find the solutions because something's been niggling, something's been feeling as if you're being held back or stuck. and he wants to find the key to unlock that chain round your ankle. Okay. Again, he's giving the energy of the number 3 for you, please. Now, 3 is to do with confidence, it's to do with will, so it's about being assertive. When we reaffirm our boundaries, it's not about being rude, it's about deciding that we deserve a level of respect from other people. So we're not going to tolerate any rudeness or disrespect from them. So it's not confrontational, it's actually about sticking up for ourselves. Yeah. And he says you owe it to yourself to reaffirm those boundaries, to get the behaviour from people that is acceptable, that is worthy of all the things that you have done. Okay. He's showing me a hillside, and he's saying if we went out walking, we could choose lots of different paths to get to the top of the hill. We could choose a very easy, gentle, gradual slope with very soft ground underneath. We could choose a steeper side, but we'd have to be aware that that's going to be more exertive on us. We could go round and see if there is a gentler path with very obvious steps or ways to get up, but they all get to the same point. It's up to you, he's saying, to decide how much time you've got before you put your feet in motion. Whether you want to just go for the obvious path that's right in front of you, or whether you want to take a little bit of time to see if there are other options and ways that could make that journey easier. Okay. And he's giving you a red rose. And I will say bless you and thank you for working with me. Okay. One more time, if I can come online, please, Richard. If I could scroll through those names, that would be appreciated. Okay, I feel I'm guided to Claudette. Thank you. Good morning, Claudette. Thank you for joining us this morning. As I'm being asked to link with you, I've got the energy of a lady that's making me feel very breathless. So I don't know whether it was a heart condition that caused this tiredness or whether it was a respiratory condition that caused this tiredness. But I absolutely feel as if it was very difficult at the very end of my life to even get a full sentence out before having to get a breath or going any great distance without having to hold on to something and get my breath. As I'm linking with this lady, she's talking about you needing a sense of pushing back against the pressures in your life. She's giving me the image of the walls closing in and not accepting that. So if you are feeling pressure in any area of your life, she's asking you to step out of that pressure or step back and assess and decide how you want to go forward, not accepting that pressure. She's saying there are things within your means that you can do without having to feel burdened by that pressure. Thank you for that acknowledgement, Claudette. She wants to put you in countryside, whether that is literally or symbolically, so you can get your breath. And that's why she was bringing her condition in initially, because she wants you to feel as if you can fully expand your lungs and you can breathe easily and naturally without feeling hemmed in or pressured by things around you. She's also taking me to a ring. I don't know whether this is one of hers that you have, or you would understand that someone else has a ring of hers, but I feel it's a flat band rather than a ring with a gem in it. Because she's making me aware of fiddling with it. I don't know whether you would remember that mannerism. Thank you for confirming that you can understand that. Or whether the person that has this ring now fiddles with it. But it's almost like I want to roll it round on my finger with my thumb and other finger when I'm pondering things. And that's the word that she's saying. Okay, I'll ask you to see if anyone else can confirm that for you, Claudette. Okay. She's also making me aware, okay, all right, so you can understand that fiddling with a ring. Okay, it could just be then she's aware of you doing that. Thank you very much for the confirmation. She doesn't want you to feel nervous about making changes in your life. She says other people will either respect it or not, and you can't do anything about that, but what you can do is decide that any choices and changes are right for you. Okay. I also feel as if there is a potential to do more studying in your life, whether that is just purely for your own interest or for any future qualification, even if it's just an introductory step or foundation step. But she is giving me awareness of a possibility of further study for you. And she's very pleased about that opportunity coming in, because she says you are someone that thrives on learning things that grab your attention, things that you generally connect to. It's much easier for you to put your interest, your attention and your time and effort in. So I feel that should you choose to accept that opportunity of study, it would go very well. And there's a lot of yellow energy around that to do with mental clarity, confidence, and intention there. She's also taking me back to a memory link of having a toy on wheels with a handle. And she says at one point you used to sit on that toy, but then when you were bigger, you used to push it along, walking along. And she says, that is about life. Okay, well, I wish you well with that new start, Claudette. It could be that there is a level of learning new things with that role, but I feel you'd be well connected to that. When she's talking about this toy, she's using it symbolically, because we might have one role or use for something in our life at one phase in our life, but then it has another purpose or role as we progress or change. So do look at the things around you and see what you can repurpose, or maybe what other people could use if it no longer serves you. Okay. She's absolutely wishing you well. She commends you for the support you've given to a friend recently, and she's just bringing that in as awareness of what's going on in your life. She's saying you've been very good. You haven't tried to solve the problem for a friend, but you've been very good at listening to the situation, helping them find their own solution. But once you've given that advice or your opinion, she says, absolutely stand back and let them make their own choices and decisions. I will say bless you from her and me, and thank you very much for connecting this morning. Okay. Let's see who else we've got in the room. Can I come to the gentleman in the jacket here, please, on the end of the row there? As I've asked, yes, hello, good morning, sir. You're very welcome, Claudette. Thank you for the acknowledgement. As I'm being asked to link with you, sir, again, I've got a fatherly energy here. And I feel that this gentleman had an awful lot of reading to do in his life. I don't know whether that is to do with his job or whether that was just what he did outside of his work. I'm not necessarily calling him academic, but I'm saying he was well read. Can you understand that, please? No? Okay, let me go back in and ask. He knew a lot about what interested him. So he could have a very good conversation about things that were interesting to him. Okay. He would keep up to date with current affairs and knowledge and the things that particularly interested him. And he would read about the people connected to that. He didn't make a big show of it, but he was someone that could have a good conversation about things that interested him. Can you understand it in that way? Yeah, you can take that. All right, thank you very much. He's saying it's never, ever about how other people perceive us. It's about how we acknowledge ourselves. So it's not about competing, that our life isn't as far along or we haven't got as progressed as other people. It's about how we feel about our own journey, how we feel about our own progress that matters, and feeling comfortable with the progress that we've made, because he's saying any progress is better than none at all. Any new understanding or new perspective that gets rid of old limiting beliefs or thoughts that don't help us is better than not coming to that awareness. Okay, so he commends you for doing what you can to improve things in your life and encouraging other people to do the same. He's talking about you having friends of a long-term nature. So I don't know whether this is friends from school or from the early part of your working life that you are still in contact with. But he's talking about long-term friends that you still connect with, that you still communicate with. And coming together, whether that is virtually or in person, and reminiscing about the good times. Thinking about those funny incidences and bringing that energy back, bringing that laughter of shared times together. Because he says that's what keeps us going. The laughter, the joy of connection with people. And he's saying the beauty of long-term friendships is we didn't have to be friends with them. We chose to be friends with them. But the fact that you are still connected all these years later means that they must be something special to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had that connection for that length of time. But he's also saying that they've been there for you as much as you've tried to be there for them, even if in recent times it's only been at the end of the phone or in other modes of communication. The opportunity to get together hasn't always been that easy, but you know that you're still there. Okay. He's giving you the image of a boat, please, and he wants to show almost like a view looking out away from the harbour, as if you've got the open sea in front of you. He's saying because you've now come to a point in your life where it's up to you to choose the direction. The part of your life where you followed someone else's route is going, and it's up to you to choose the next phase and direction. And you may have to slightly alter your course, but that's fine, as long as you feel that you are in control. You're the skipper. You're not at the mercy of someone else choosing the direction for you. Okay. But there is a lot of respect from this gentleman and encouraging you to keep going forward as you have been doing. Please don't be overly concerned about someone that's had a recent health appointment, because I feel it was a review or just something minor. Okay, so please don't be overly concerned if you hear about someone that's had a recent health appointment. Okay. He's talking about music being significant in your life, because I suddenly got the image of a speaker. Now, obviously what we hear can connect to memories, but it can also very strongly alter our thoughts and our actions. So be very aware of what you listen to and try and make the focus positive. So whether that is you consciously choosing certain pieces of music or songs that uplift you, or if you start hearing things of a negative nature, he says, change the station, change the channel, so that you don't get bogged down or pulled down by that. And I will say bless you and thank you for working with me.
Thank you.
I don't think we've got time for another one. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining us online, and thank you very much here in the church for your time and attention today.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Well done. Friends, we've come to the end of our service, but I just wanted to try and share some words of encouragement. Jackie and I conducted a funeral service this week, and her name was Helen, and she passed to the Spirit with a condition. But she came here nearly 2 years ago to plan her funeral service with us, and what she wanted said, read, done, and everything. We went through it. She'd been a spiritualist for a good number of years, mainly in the Hampshire area. And she very much found this Sunday service so comforting to her, when she was in the hospice especially. She found listening online and understanding a lot more about spiritualism helped her a great deal. And it's my want on a Sunday when I'm sitting at the lectern, church chairman's lectern, to pick out a card, and I picked out one this morning and it said education. And I just wanted to try and share with you, because Helen's funeral service was very uplifting. It was very positive. And I'm not saying that because of Jackie and I conducting it. It's because what Helen wanted. Helen wanted everyone to know she's not gone, she's not died, but she started a new journey in a new life with a body better and stronger than flesh. And one of the things she wanted to get over to people was a reading that her and I shared a few years ago. But I want to try and use that today, because some of the messages that have come up saying that people have lost people. As a spiritualist, I don't believe we lose people. I believe they pass on to heaven, spirit world for us spiritualists, and they now have a new life in the spirit world. And somebody put on today that they'd lost a friend, I think yesterday. You haven't lost your friend. And Jesus tried to teach this very much within the Christian community that was beginning to formulate at that time. Because you have to remember, Jesus wasn't a Christian. Jesus was a teacher, a rabbi, in other words. And Jesus said, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in me, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it was not so, I would have told you so. And I go there to prepare a place for me. And I will receive you to myself." Now that's in the New Testament, John 14 verses 1 to 7. Goes on a little bit more, but in essence, Jesus tells the people that there is no death. There's continuing life. From this world to a more abundant world, more abundant life. Yes, when loved ones pass the spirit, we do miss that physical presence. I can't deny that to you, because I know I still miss mum and dad's physical presence. But what I do know, and truly know, with my dad's passing, who my dad was the president of this church for nearly 25, 26 years, how much he wouldn't have liked living with pain and anxiety that he had prior to his passing. Dad had 4 cancers and the pain was getting to him. And when he passed very quietly, very gentle. We were round his bed. His close family and friends had said their goodbyes. But we'd also said, au revoir, Dale, Dad, you're going to go on and you're going to meet people. And he knew that. When Mum passed, people came up to me and said, oh, Ray, I'm so sorry. I said, well, I'm not, because Mum is reunited with Dad. The moment Dad passed to the spirit, she missed him. She missed that physical presence. And the beauty of you all here in the church and on SPTV, you're never, ever alone. You have SPTV there to help you, to guide you, to strengthen you. Visit your local spiritualist church. Find out how you can become a part of the family here. Here at Wimbledon, we call it family. It's not membership, it's family. Because we sit round a table after this service and we eat cake, biscuits, drink tea, coffee, and we celebrate as a family. We celebrate people's birthdays, and it's one of our church members, Kelly, it's her birthday next week, and we're celebrating that today because she may not be able to get here next week. But the situation is, we are not alone. We have never been alone. And the life of the Spirit keeps us alert, keeps us strong. And recently, a very good friend of mine, Margaret, showed me a picture on Facebook, and it was her husband, who's passed some time ago, with his new great-grandchildren. And it was such a beautiful photograph, and I've seen that other people do that sort of thing. I know where last week when Noah was here, he's one of my grandsons, he came here and looked at my mum's photograph. He said, Nanny Hazel is there, but she's in my heart as well. And that's a 4-year-old. He went home and destroyed the rest of the church afterwards, but in his own mind, he's getting to understand that, he's learning that. And one of the hymns, he goes to a Roman Catholic school, and one of the hymns he's been learning recently, my God is a big God, and he embraces the whole world, or words similar to that. And that's so true, because the divine spirit embraces us all. He doesn't look at us and say, oh, that's a spiritualist, that's an Anglican, that's a Methodist, that's a Roman Catholic. He embraces us all for all our faults. And we have faults because we need to learn to live this life. The message of spiritualism is one of hope, because we teach and preach that there is no death. But by becoming part of a spiritualist community, you learn more about spiritualism. You learn how to spiritualize your life, to make yourself a better person. It's not judgment and fearfulness. You find that peace of God that passes all understanding, that keeps your hearts and minds in the knowledge of how you can help one another upon this earth journey. Friends in the virtual world and friends here at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, live your life with a purpose. And that purpose is to serve your fellow man. One of the things when I first sat in Circle, which is a long time ago now, 50 odd years, we were told that we're doing this for service to mankind. That's not always taught so much now in Circle, which is fine. Circle is a development group, friends, for those who don't know what a circle is, and where you learn to use your spiritual gifts and practice within your environment. And we say circle because 9 out of 10 people sit in a circle. But what you need to understand, the Spiritualist Church gives you hope and understanding of a better world, a greater world, a stronger world. Yes, there'd be individual churches have their individual politics and ups and downs. That's being part of a family, because how many of us don't always get on with our family straight away? But what spiritualism then does is gives us the knowledge of life eternal, of healing by the power of the Spirit, and a manifestation of Spirit in our lives that gives us strength, light, and hope. For those of you who can't attend a spiritualist church or meeting, keep the faith. Keep strong to SPTV. Watch their shows, watch their meetings. And get joy from receiving a message by listening to somebody else's message, because there's always something there for you to understand. Dear friends, both seen and unseen, I know without doubt or hesitation, there is no death. Life continues, and we pass from this world into the spirit world, or heaven if you wish to use it, and we continue our journey. God bless you all, seen and unseen. I now ask Ashley to close our meeting with prayer. Thank you.
Let us take another moment to close our eyes, bow our heads, whatever is most comfortable and convenient. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for joining with us this morning, and we thank you for your words of upliftment, encouragement, and support. We ask a blessing of protection to those that now make our journeys back home until we meet again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, both seen and unseen, that are here at our church. Brenda, you have a nice holiday in Spain. I've never been to that country. I've never forgiven them for the Armada, so it's been a long time getting there. I've got a long reincarnation memory. But friends, enjoy life, be strong, be vibrant, and know that you're not alone. We thank Richard, our producer, for this show and all that he does for the spiritual movement. Good morning. God bless you all until we meet again. Bye-bye.
Spiritual Psychics TV presents an holistic fair on Saturday the 11th of June. Offering the best in spiritual readers and market stalls. Join us from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Throughout the day there will be many stalls such as natural polished crystals and stones, qualified complementary therapists offering spiritual healing. This exciting day is being held at the Waterlooville Community Centre, with plenty of free parking. A wide range of handmade products including candles, oils, jewellery, naturally organic and vegan soaps, creams, and bath bombs. Not forgetting the kids, we have face painting and a bouncy castle to enjoy all day. For those who are interested in potions, spells, and essentials oils, then we have a stall for you here as well. Maybe you're looking for a reading, be it mediumistic, palm, or tarot. 11 readers are available throughout the day. Refreshments such as drinks and light snacks are being provided by the 1940s Tea Room from Havant. Plenty of free workshops, talks, and a demonstration of mediumship are also planned during the day. For more information, please visit mbs.spiritualpsychicstv.online.
Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.